California series, my man.
All right, guys, welcome back to the vlog.
Next up,
we shipped our bikes to California. What a trip that was.
Yeah.
That was amazing because we obviously did it with the intention of riding home, and then we'll get into that after.
Yeah,
but we
talk about getting them there and us being there.
Yeah, so I think the first kind of episode of that series was us here at the warehouse and the shipping company coming to pick them up.
Yeah.
And that was super exciting.
Oh,
and
man.
I think you flew down not long after that.
Yeah,
right?
so I think what it was, they pick up the bike and maybe I left 3 days later, I want to say, because the bikes got there in like 4 days.
Yeah,
like
super
something like that anyways. Like it was really fast.
TFX International for shipping
I'll use them
motorcycles. I will definitely use them again.
This
It was a reasonable price, very efficient.
This year.
Yeah,
use them
for
again
sure,
this year.
for sure.
So yeah, I flew down like 3 days later, but I remember that one, like when he picked up the bikes, it was like, that was it. That's when we knew it was on.
Yeah.
We knew, we were like, all right, we had this planned. And this was like the start of, again, we'll get into the trip home, but this is something Dan and I have been wanting to do for a really long time. So this, when they were picked up the bikes, it was like, all right, here we go. Like it's happening.
Yeah,
and like
very
the start
exciting.
of a very exciting time. You
Yeah.
know? I fly in, I don't know, 10:30 a.m. one day. The next day at 6 a.m. the bikes show
That's
up.
right.
Both bikes, and then we put them in the garage, and Dan's bike was ready waiting for him. But I was probably down there maybe a week before.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I got to ride.
Yeah.
I got to ride a bunch. So I started trying to getting used to lane splitting and all that. And because when you haven't done that, man, it feels almost wrong at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It does, yeah.
Like as you see cars stopped and you just
Keep going.
You just keep going. It's the opposite of the way you learn to ride here. But once you get used to it, man, it's pretty. I think everybody knows how we feel about it. But
yeah. And then we get to Orange, and I get to see my bike there, and I'm just like, this is crazy. My bike's in California right now.
Yeah, it's so wild. It was very surreal. It's so funny. We've been to California a lot, but that trip, just because of what we knew we were doing, every part of it was just exciting.
It was exciting.
Even the
really
daily
exciting.
shit, or the daily stuff. Don't swear, man. Just that stuff was just heightened because you knew what you were there for, you know?
Yeah, that was a really fun trip. We got to kind of ride around some canyons. So we discovered canyon riding, lane splitting, PCH, all that stuff. We went out to like the thrashing spot, the 2 Lane Life spot.
Right. Yep.
VG, we went and hung out with our buddies VG.
Yeah.
They did like
stop by
a
and
free
say hi.
burger Friday every Friday in the summer, so we went and hung out there for the day. That was great.
I had a burger at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, that's great. I think we did San Gabriel Highway, I think it's called.
Okay.
It's like a canyon up near the Angel's Crest Highway. That was a great day of riding.
Yeah.
We were just going up and up and up.
Yeah,
and
man.
all these twisties.
That's crazy.
And you see footage of guys riding there, and they're just like wiping out and stuff.
Oh yeah. Shortly after we got back, I was just scrolling on Instagram and see a lot of riding footage or whatever, and this dude is he's going pretty hard around in these canyons, and all of a sudden I caught like something at the corner of my eye, or corner of the screen, sorry. I can't remember what it was at this point, but something showed me that it was that same canyon roads that we were going up, and just as I noticed that, the dude goes down and slides into a guardrail. I think he was okay, but I remember that turn, and I remember how sharp that turn was, and how like much you had to lean into that. It was so, seeing that and seeing somebody go down, you never want to see that, but seeing that, you're almost like, well, yeah, those are crazy roads. Yeah. You got to be used to them. What were we talking about?
I remember we hit those tacos. This is going back a little bit, but we hit tacos, street tacos, and
after we went to the thrashing warehouse.
Had amazing tacos,
which we've had since too.
Yep.
Those are really good.
Ripped down that canyon, Topanga Canyon, to the PCH. Getting out of the PCH was.
I rode that for a while.
Sick.
Before getting back on the freeway to Orange. It's great having a bike there. It's great. What's next?
Born Free.
Yeah.
The reason we went down there.
That was, one of the reasons.
One of the reasons. The main reason we shipped our bikes down there, the main reason we went down there was for Born Free.
Yeah, we timed everything quite well, yeah.
And what a show that was, what a vlog that was. That was pretty overwhelming experience for us coming from Canada, seeing how much support we got for the vlog, for the brand, for the bikes even.
Yeah, literally everything, man.
And that vlog now almost has like 90,000 views.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
For us, I mean, it's just crazy. And because we got to meet a bunch of people too, right?
Yeah.
That was it too. It just felt like, it really felt like a proper community there that weekend, you know? It was our first time really seeing that people, I guess, like either our vlogs, our brand, all of that. It was such a great feeling to know that we were part of that community.
Yeah, like, for sure. We sold out of a bunch of stuff the first day.
It's just great. Like
meeting all the, you know, seeing people wearing Indestructible shirts was cool. Because again, we came from a different country.
Yeah.
We didn't just, you know, come from a different state. So we were probably the only brand there from Canada.
Yeah, I believe we were. And we go on a lot about, and I know I'll always try to say thank you when we're talking about certain things, and we always do that. But it's honestly just because we are. Like it was crazy. It was crazy, and I'm still stoked. It's like
I can't wait till the next one.
That Born Free was, man, that was fun. We had been to it before, just going to check it out. But that was so much fun.
Yeah, we both talked about it like that was one of the funnest days of our life.
I know, it was great. It was just fun, man. Like it's just, you're doing exactly what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Around like-minded people.
Yeah. There's some Canadian homies there. Wade McNeil from Alexis on Fire.
Yeah.
Maddie Matheson from Maddie.
Just Maddie.
Matheson. So it's cool to hang out with our Canadian brothers. And hopefully this year we have some homies from Toronto coming down.
Yeah, I hope so. We're putting it on camera, and we're going to say Mark and Nick at least. You got to come.
Yep.
I don't know if we should name others or we should leave it at that. We'll see, because there's others that should come.
They should come. It's the best chopper show.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's
North America.
It's a good combination, and you know, this is our opinion of it, right? It's a great combination of kind of those old choppers, older bikes, and just really interesting builds. And then you've got on the flip side of that these performance bikes, so more similar to what Dan and I will ride. But they kind of like the way they've set up is just perfect. It's like literally just all the things that us and our friends like. It's all just there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's really great that it's not just a performance bike show or not just a chopper show. It's custom motorcycle. That's the way to say it. It's just a custom motorcycle show, and man, it's cool.
Right after Born Free, I think a day later, we got ready to go head back to Canada.
Born Free ended on Sunday. Monday we prepped, and Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. we were on the road. We kept a tight schedule for that one, because it was a long ride back, right? And we wanted to be able to take our time, enjoy it, right?
We did 7 episodes.
And we did do a live.
Yeah. We'll leave the link.
Yeah, we did it live. So we'll try not to repeat ourselves too much, right?
Yeah. Again, that trip we had been talking about probably 5 years before we ever ended up doing it. We always wanted, since we've been riding motorcycles together, we knew we wanted to ride across America, and we finally had the opportunity to do it, and what a trip that was.
Yeah.
Day one, we left again. Matt was saying we left California at 6 a.m. and we got to Flagstaff that day. So that was a big day. That was a big
day. And that was also going through like Joshua Tree National Park. Going through the desert, and kind of like it was us taking detours and getting off the bikes and looking at things, like, and so with that made it a really long day. It wasn't just the miles themselves, it's what we did within that period of time, right?
So Kingman, Arizona, stopped at that Route 66 sign.
Kingman's cool.
Kingman to Williams. Williams is a really cool town on Route 66.
Yeah, it is.
And
Williams was
like 45 minutes from Flagstaff, and that's where we should have stayed. We should have stayed there.
Yeah.
Because we had been there before. I bought this ring from there.
Yeah, and it was cool seeing it this time because it was a little more lively. It wasn't the middle of the winter there.
Yeah, that's right. So we went in February. And there was snow there.
It was
So middle of summer, it was popping off.
Yeah.
We should have stayed there.
Yeah.
And we got to Flagstaff that night, and of course we had to do Del Taco.
That was our last time having Del Taco after being in California for a month. Last one.
Yep.
And then we killed some tacos that night.
Yep. And then from there, Flagstaff to, I want to say, Moab. So we go through Monument Valley. There's some other spots I don't even remember now.
I know.
There's that bridge that we stopped at.
It's so hard. It's so funny. It's so hard to remember. That's, again, what we said, part of the reason why we made all this stuff is so it's a memory for us.
Remember that, and I've watched it so many times. But I remember hitting Monument Valley, and just the scenery was insane, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a beautiful.
That was
part
probably
of the world.
that was the best day of the trip, I want to say.
Yeah, those first couple days. And also you gotta. I mean, even though it got cold, the Rockies, right?
Yeah,
The Rockies.
yeah.
I'd say those first 3 days.
Yeah.
Just they're probably some of the best days.
Yeah, and you get to meet some people on the road. We got to meet a dude that actually was from Canada, traveling with his wife at the Utah sign.
Well, I think he was from there. He had a brother or something that lived in Canada.
He had
so
some
he always
relation in
goes
Canada.
to Canada.
Yeah.
So he had like an American flag and Canadian flag like crossed on his bike kind of
Yeah.
thing because he's there
Yeah.
so much. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, so riding through there, and then of course getting to Moab and realizing my fob was left on that side of the road.
Yeah.
Not the funnest end to that day because it was one of the best days.
That was so good.
But
So good. I just want to spend more time in Moab, dude.
Yeah.
Like that was
Seems-
cool.
It's
It's
a cool
so
little
nice
town.
there.
Where did we go after Moab?
Colorado.
Colorado. We-
Went through the Rockies.
Yeah, we had to
ended
go
up in
get-
Denver.
Yeah, Moab to Denver. I had to go get a fob replaced. Rode over the Rockies, which was crazy too, because we had no
we
idea.
didn't know. We're so bad. But we didn't want to fully plan it. We just wanted to kind of get a general idea. Because of that, though, we didn't realize when we were in the middle of the Rockies.
We, think rain's coming, so we throw the rain gear on. We keep going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And it's actually snow.
Turns out it gets really cold.
And luckily we did that. Dodged a massive rainstorm, thunderstorm.
Right. Yeah.
Just getting into Denver.
Just in time for us to hit another rainstorm the next day.
That was a tornado warning
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah. Oh, it's one touchdown.
We didn't actually get to shoot. Well, we actually lost a bunch of
Yeah,
footage
yeah.
on that vlog, but there's a shot of Matt riding through a country road, and there's just like this massive dark cloud.
Yeah.
It was scary, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like, I was
lost footage. Some stuff we didn't even get on film because we were actually white knuckling it.
Yeah.
But it was really bad.
We were like, we gotta call it for the day.
We found a cool spot. Found that little winery.
Yeah, and even riding to that, our
Yeah.
bikes, because of the wind, was so crazy.
Yeah.
Our bikes were on an angle, riding all the way.
Yeah.
We were getting tornado warnings on our phone.
My phone's on my bike, on my bars, but as as we're riding, you're getting like alerts coming up. The wind's almost knocking you over. Hail's coming down and hitting you. You're like, I don't. What is happening, man? It's like the Wizard of Oz or something.
That was like we were on the border of Kansas. So
Yeah, well, it's true. That was we didn't even make it into Kansas that day.
No, we didn't.
We got to the edge of Colorado.
Yeah, let's not go through that way next time.
No. I had fun, but we're going a different way next time.
Yeah.
Because then went Kansas to Nebraska.
And we can kind of skim over the rest of this trip because, to be honest, of course it was fun, but
it was me.
it was not as exciting as the first few days.
Well, I think too, and that's part of it. And I'm glad we did the route we did, so now we can do a different one next time. But I think kind of because of the route we chose and the way we started the trip, it was like so heightened and like visually so wild. So by the time you get into like Kansas and Nebraska,
It's just flat.
It's pretty flat. So, it's a lot of fun, and it was pretty cool knowing we're in the middle of nowhere too, not knowing where we are. Like that was still really cool, but it was a different experience. But riding around Detroit was super cool because it was a holiday. It was
4th of July.
Yeah, it was 4th of July, so everything was closed. So we were just ripping through all the streets in Detroit. That was cool.
Detroit was super cool getting to ride around there because it's kind of quiet even when there's not a holiday.
Yeah, that's true.
So getting to rip around the city was really cool because all the buildings are old and sick looking. So
it was
shooting that day was cool. And then of course we crossed back into Canada, and by that time we were just like, all right. I think I even said in the vlog, I was like, this is the fastest we've ridden in 7 days.
Oh yeah, we were just
bombing.
As soon as we were back in Canada, we're like, well, it's over now.
Yeah, we've ridden this freeway before, so just get home.
Get home, yeah, that's true. That's true. But that was it. I'm really glad we did that.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again. But that was, for us at that point, still is. That was a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And
we learned some things we want to do next time, different spots to see, and obviously go a different way.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, but
yeah, definitely.
Maybe plan a little better.
I still like the looseness of it.
Oh, for sure.
Right? But just
that's
pick a different overall direction.
I like
a little more north, maybe this time, or a little more south. You know what I mean?
See what happens next time. We're doing it again. See what we do. So we got back after that trip, and I think maybe a week later we went out for another ride. And we rode with Pan Am Pat through Hamilton, went to Steeltown Garage, got a good coffee there, had a little breakfast, and ripped some country roads.
Yeah, that turned into like the rest of the summer turned into a lot of rides to Hamilton.
Yeah.
And then going out from there.
Yeah, so we did that vlog, and then me and Pat do a trip to Worcester to see Easy Co Boys. Unfortunately, Matt couldn't make that one, but I wanted to shoot it just because I knew riding with those guys was gonna be wild.
Yeah,
They're on panheads. They were ripping. They got no front brakes.
I wish I got to see that.
Oh yeah, they were.
Seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, those guys are amazing guys. Awesome little shop they have, and they rip, dude. I couldn't believe it.
I remember seeing the footage too. Like, I think you showed me some of the footage before the vlog came out of just them ripping. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, these guys.
They're moving. They're moving on those old bikes.
So.
I know, I couldn't make it. I think I probably had to tattoo that weekend or something. Especially after being gone for so long. Looked like a lot of fun. Yeah. It looked like you guys had some fun. You guys got caught in rain that time too.
Yeah, yeah.
You showed up the first night, right? In rain.
Yeah.
Like when you
we were riding in rain.
Went straight to the shop, right?
The whole way to Worcester, and of course Pat wanted to just keep going, just go, no brakes. I was like, all right, I'll do it. I mean, my bike is made for long distance, so I was fine just ripping, but we get in and just we were riding in rain that whole day. And then the next day, obviously, Easy Co took us out to Mystic for Mystic Pizza.
It's more like famous for its name and what it is now than it maybe is for the food or whatever.
But yeah,
I'll try it sometime.
We ripped back with those guys, and John broke down a few times, ran out of gas once.
That's amazing, just running out of gas.
That was a really fun vlog to shoot, and I was mostly just filming those guys because it was just like, the vlog was just filming it, shooting itself.
They're entertaining enough.
So looking forward to seeing them again at Roll of Bones. And then I think we actually were heading back, stopped at Hamilton, of course, and we met you there. And I think you had some more work done to your bike, and we did a little recap.
Wait, was it that one?
Yeah.
Or it was for sure that one?
Yeah.
I just put on the new bars, the FXR division bars, replaced some of the bolts from Bamco. I think those were the two things I had done at the time.
Yeah.
Because I was just dying to get the bars on.
And you're still waiting on work to be done, right?
I know, there's still a little bit more. It's still a little more. Hopefully that'll get done over the winter.
And we'll film that, of course.
Yeah, of course. That summer, just to go back, it was a lot of riding to Hamilton after the California, like across America trip. It was funny. Like, got to know the guys at Steeltown pretty well.
Yep.
Yeah, all the crew there. Yeah.
But what did we shoot after that? Let me just have a quick look. We went back to California.
Was that the one right after?
Yeah, we went back to California. We went back to California and rented some bikes this time.
Rented some Harleys.
Honestly, after having our own bikes down there, I was like, I'm not going to California in the summer and not having a bike to ride. So rented some Lowrider S's, a little expensive, very expensive. Yep. But worth it because it was
At least we had some bikes.
Fun to have a bike.
It's nice riding.
We were down there setting up our fulfillment center. Well, where we had our stuff fulfilled with VG.
Yeah, they fulfill for us over there. So.
But we got to hit up the 2 Lane Life opening party, the grand opening. That was cool.
That was super fun. They put on a good party.
Dude,
that was good. It was a lot of fun.
Good on them for the turnout was amazing. The community again they bring in was cool. Getting to see some homies, getting to meet some new people, and
they had some good giveaways too. Some like actual legit giveaways they did. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're set up in there, and I think he even mentioned we should get in there for a live with them at some point.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Galen was saying. Our boy Galen of 2 Lane Life.
Putting it on record.
Yeah,
let's do it. We're coming at some point. Yeah, let's do it.
That was a good day, and then we went and did tacos again.
But the only thing is, so we were there a lot earlier this time.
That's right.
And we ended up waiting for like an hour and a half for them to set up the tacos.
Yep.
Like in a parking lot, just waiting.
Yep, it was worth it.
But it was worth it. And you had grease like shot all over you when he's flicking the pineapple or whatever.
Yeah. That same day, we rode down. We basically redid that vlog we shot when we went to 2 Lane Life and thrashing the first time, and we went to Painted Canyon again to the PCH, but we stopped in Venice this time.
I was gonna say, and it's so funny. I have, for the amount of times I've been to California now, and like Southern California, every time I see Venice, it's at night. Like I never see it during the day. Like next time, like one time, I want to go during the day.
I'm trying to think if we did any other little trips, or it was mostly. We had to kind of stay around we didn't get to go, other than the 2 Lane Life party, we didn't really get to explore too much. We were kind of stayed around the Orange County area.
Yeah, we kind of had to.
Going down to the warehouse in Costa Mesa from where I was staying every morning and just bombing down the 55, and I knew every time it'll take 10 minutes because I'm gonna lane split.
Yeah,
so
because you get a lot of
great.
traffic when it ends. Lane splitting really comes in handy.
Yeah.
It tells you you're gonna take 40 minutes, and for me it would say like 40 minutes. It takes me like 15.
We got to do some photo shoots down there.
Shot the tracksuit.
Yeah, it was more of a work trip than the previous trip we did.
Right.
Because we got our inventory was in California, so we could pull product and be like, oh, we're gonna go shoot this in Orange Circle or whatever we did. And then we had to give our bikes back. So I went to drop off my bike and get a ride to the airport, and with my luck and fobs, I took the fob home with me,
That was
and
so
I had to
funny.
ship it back down to Jose.
That was so funny. You had told me, you're like, oh, I got a surprise, but I don't want to tell you until we vlog it. And then it was so funny, man. It was, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, we're at the bottom of the list here.
Most recent vlog.
This is the last vlog that came out in 2023, and we went back to California for our first warehouse sale.
We were back there like 3 weeks after we left, something like that.
So
right?
what happened was we got set up at VG on that trip we were just talking about, and they invited us out to their warehouse sale, and we were like, 3 weeks from now?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we
Figure it out.
got back on the plane, and it was super easy because all of our inventory was there. So
Yeah.
that was one of the easiest pop-ups we've ever done.
Yeah,
So
oh
we
yeah.
literally just went from the warehouse, set up outside.
We literally had our entire inventory there.
Yeah.
Like we were able to showcase everything
Yeah,
as opposed to having to pick and choose what to bring. It was really good for that.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like a lot of guys rolled out. We got to meet some people that we met back at Born Free.
Yep.
That have followed the channel.
Yep.
And
some new people.
that was cool. It wasn't a motorcycle event.
No.
So I think, if we were doing a motorcycle event, the turnout would have been a little different, or the motorcycles that showed up would have been different. But
Yeah, I mean,
we still had a great turnout for
It was
what
cool.
it was.
It was cool that we kind of got a turnout at all. It was that was really cool, right? Because
Yep.
we didn't know, right? Because the VG guys have been great too, like with kind of letting us be a part of this and kind of like welcoming us in, especially to their little complex. You know what I mean? They're letting us kind of be a part of it. So that being said, maybe we can do some more stuff. Maybe we can expand on even just these warehouse sales.
Yep. All right, so that's the recap of our year. It was an awesome year. We've been vlogging for many years.
Yeah, yeah.
But, this year is the first year that we took it more seriously. We had a lot more views, which made us take it more seriously. We grew our subscriber list.
I would also say this year was just a year of a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a lot. We made a lot of big decisions, a lot of big moves, This was a big year for us, even just within the vlog and outside of the vlog. This was a pretty substantial year. Even just building the bike, even just doing that, like taking everything like that, doing Born Free, doing this ride we've always wanted to do,
When
moving a bunch of inventory to California. You and I did a lot of traveling.
When you say all those things and we look back, it's like, yeah, we did do a lot this year. And we kind of like get kind of just like
Wrapped up.
Yeah, wrapped up, and when you stop to think just from this conversation now, I'm like, oh, we did.
Yeah, we did. We did do a lot, and it was. I think one thing that Dan and I all, like don't forget is it's really cool that we're recording as much of it as we can, and that people actually care about watching it to whatever degree that is. So that's where it kind of ties back to the vlog. Like all these things that we've had the opportunities to do, or we've worked quite hard to be able to do. It's just cool that we also.
Oh, for sure.
We get to kind of put it on camera, at least some of it anyways.
The vlogs, even now, it's a hobby. It's like we
totally.
like it's kind of like the funnest thing we get to do in the business, to be honest. So just getting to look back and see all the things we did is cool, and we're just happy to share it with you guys. And I just want to say huge thanks to anyone who subscribed, left a comment, liked the videos. I'm getting tired because we've been shooting for a while.
We have been.
But
for real, just thank you, everyone. Again, I say it all the time. Dan says it from the bottom of our hearts, wherever it comes from. Thank you.
Let's see what happens. Let's see where the channel takes us, everyone. Let's go. I know after this vlog, there's going to be some old vlogs we shot last year just to kind of fill some gaps. But we'll see what happens.
Still some fun ones, though. I think, right? We got some good stuff that hasn't been out yet.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.